Hey, Big V here, and we're talking teams. So what's up with AI, and how are real estate agents and companies using AI in their practice? I'll tell you what, everybody has a different opinion, everybody has a different search, everybody has a different prompt of how they're using AI. I'll just share with you some of the things that our top teams are doing to utilize artificial intelligence in their real estate practice. At Workman Success Systems, we're actually developing our own AI engines that allow our coaches and clients to hear and see things exactly the way we want them to see them based on content that we've created. Artificial intelligence has a tremendous amount of benefit, but there's also some risks associated with it. One of the things I'll share with you or challenge you is that when you load your content to artificial intelligence, you load it to ChatGPT, it then becomes available to the world. So make sure that if you want to give up your copyright or you want to give up the stuff that you've created, just upload it to ChatGPT, then anybody has access to it. If you want to be careful and you want to make sure that you keep your stuff proprietary, there's ways to do that as well. I'll tell you that as a father, as a Sunday school teacher, as a coach, as a CEO, I've learned to use ChatGPT in so many different aspects of my life. And for me, what it's done is it hasn't become a replacement. It's just made my life easier because I've learned how to ask questions differently. So let me give you an example of just some of the things you can do with ChatGPT. So one of the first things that we started doing is saying, okay, how do we find out what behaviors are happening inside of our leads? Lead qualification and lead generation are incredible. With companies like Inside Real Estate, KV Core, Sync, Boomtown, and others, they've created artificial intelligence engines inside their lead generation and their lead incubation process so that it identifies the behaviors of the consumers that are inside the site, and it recognizes and identifies if they're moving closer to buying or selling a home. So engaging with lead generation systems and lead generation companies that incorporate that functionality into their program makes a huge difference. Another thing that you can use artificial intelligence for is to help you write better questions based on the generation and the emotional intelligence and the behavioral style of people that are in your lead database. You can integrate it into your CRM, and you can ask questions that gauge not just the level of urgency, but also the level of interest based on the behaviors that are happening in that database. Next is property search assistance. When you're going in and you're using your artificial intelligence, if you ask the questions correctly about the specific type of property you're looking for, it will help you identify queries and search criteria that will make your searches more refined. You can also use it to create virtual tours, property images, information about neighborhoods. You can grab information about all kinds of things that have been uploaded. There's been recent activity happening with the artificial intelligence community where we can actually go in and we can find photography and photographs. Now, they're saying that you've got to be very careful in publishing somebody else's works. You have to make sure you ask for permission or give credit where it's done. So make sure you're following the laws and you're paying attention to the artificial intelligence regulations that are coming out there, and they're changing daily. The next thing you could do is you could use market insights and trends. One of my favorite things to do is to look at artificial intelligence to find out what's going on in the world today and ask questions to find out the trends of real estate. What are the markets that they're growing? What are the markets they're going down in? What segments of the market are people buying and selling houses in? What kind of incentives are we seeing builders offering today? By asking the right questions, you begin to get better information coming back from your artificial intelligence engines. Some of the common questions asked by real estate agents according to ChatGPT are, here's some of the questions. Compile a list of common questions that are asked by real estate buyers and sellers. If you know the questions they're asked, you can provide the answers. Another one might be, share with me the biggest objections as to why people won't move forward in buying or selling a house and how I could more effectively answer those objections. Using ChatGPT to help you write scripts to overcome objections, handle concerns, and keep people moving forward in the process is brilliant. You can also ask it to do it in a foreign language, or you can ask it to do it with a different kind of a twist for you because you're in the southern marketplace. The way that chat communicates and the way that it interacts with you is very, very much related on the types of questions you ask. Another common way that agents are using the ChatGPT or the artificial intelligence engines is they're using it to ask questions like, can you give me a rent versus own analysis and why consumers today would want to buy over renting a home? When you ask that question that way, it then comes up with a whole bunch of different reasons why buying is better than selling, and you can ask it for statistical data that backs up the research. When you ask the right questions, you get that kind of response. Agents are able to have much better conversations with their consumers today. Another one of my favorite AI interactions is when you start asking for neighborhood insights and insights about the community. What are some of the greatest restaurants in and around a certain community? What are some of the activities you can do? How close are you to being able to go mountain biking or enjoy the outdoors or the things that are of interest to you? One of the coolest things is that there is so much data that's being uploaded and put into these chat engines every single day that the information becomes more and more accurate. I'm going to challenge you to always double check. Always put your spin on things. Don't plagiarize and don't just copy things out of the AI engines. What you want to do is you want to ask the questions, get the information from the research you need, double check to make sure that it's accurate, and then write it in your own voice. It's important that you understand that it makes life easier. It's not designed to just write everything in your voice for you in your behalf. That's not the purpose of the artificial intelligence. There's so many more things that are happening out there. One of the things I like to ask it is to provide feedback and post self-follow-up questions so that I can ask the questions in the way that's most likely to get the consumer to respond. Artificial intelligence is fun. It's a lot of fun to play with. It's fun to use in business, and there's so many things you can do with it. One of the things we did recently with a client is we said, okay, so let's create the property description of a property. We put in all the information. It wrote the property description. Then we said, okay, now write the same ads for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn in a voice that appeals to the audience on each of those social media channels. Using our content from the ad, it then rewrote quick posts for all of our social media. We had to go in and make a few simple edits, but the process was so much faster because of the engine that we used in artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence can help you write interview questions and help you write job descriptions and perfect the things you're doing in your business. There are so many doors that are being opened with artificial intelligence. Be careful how you use it, but make sure that you're understanding what can be done with it and apply it to your own real estate practice. If you'd like to have some of the best prompts that we've used in our real estate companies, go ahead and click on the link below and we're going to give you a list of some of our favorite prompts and how to ask the right questions in ChatGPT. AI is brilliant. An agent that uses AI has a much greater chance of success. So you can choose to ignore it or you can choose to embrace it. At Workman Success, we're embracing artificial intelligence and we encourage you to do the same.